Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Friday, July 22nd, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi, and our energy mantra for today is I allow myself to feel divine love. And divine love is always available to us. In fact, that is what I believe powers the universe, and when we align with it, we power ourselves up, right? And today, speaking of divine love, we have the sun moving into Leo. The sun will move into Leo at 1:07 p.m. Pacific time. So that means we will have a morning or a large part of the day, depending where you live, the final degree of Cancer. So there may be still some feels processing. We're also finishing up the moon in Taurus. So even though we're like entering Leo, you may not feel the sparkly, joyful vibes yet. You still may be feeling, I'll say this week has felt like a lot of gut punches, like so much going on. You may still be feeling the gut punches, but if you can approach them with love for yourself, love and nurturing and care for yourself, and recognize them as a part of the unfolding process of all. I think that's the best way to move through this at this time. Be gentle. Stay in gentle mode like you would for a very young child experiencing life on Earth, right? Okay, so that being said, Sun into Leo. A song and a poem popped into my head with Leo. I love Leo season. I usually get songs all month long that come up through the scope. So the song for today was Vision of Love by Mariah Carey. So see where you can hold a vision of love. And the poem is by Hafiz, and can't see it. It says the subject tonight is love, and it's just short. So I'm going to read this. The subject tonight is love, and for tomorrow night as well. As a matter of fact, I know of no better topic for us to discuss until we all die. So that's Leo season for you in a nutshell. Leo energy is about heart. Leo rules the heart. Leo rules love. Romantic love, agape love, all of the loves. Leo rules that energy. And so we're really called to approach this season with love. Now, I know love can sometimes be hard for people. Another step on the path of love is embracing joy. Seeing where you can embrace joy. I believe that when we are in joy, we are in divine communion with spirit. When we are in joy, we are in alignment and connected to soul energy. And so joy is another strong energy that we can embrace in Leo season. Now I know life is hard, and love and joy are not necessarily always the forefront of what we can access. And yet this is what we're called to move towards in any given moment. And I know all of us have on this planet things that we love. People, animals, plants, rocks, places in the world, and connecting to those things can be very useful as we work on filling ourselves up with love. I think this is really important energy to embrace, as we're working towards honoring our values with the North Node in Taurus. Love to me is like the top of my values, right? And yet that's something that can so easily fall off as we strive for other things we value, abundance or health. We can find frustration and we can find all kinds of other energies on that path, right? But if we can keep working on aligning ourselves with love, that's a very different path that we walk. That's a very different experience. Now, it may take like avatar level within ourselves to get there, and yet it doesn't, right? We can all attain this in any given moment. So that's our work for this season. That is what we are going to be focusing on for the next 30 days of Leo season is working on the love. Now, at the same time, it comes with some other challenges. One of them is the inner child. Now, the inner child is very good at connecting to love, but inner child can also connect to the wounding and the trauma and the pain that you might have had as a child. And so the thing your inner child needs most is love. So if you can approach yourself, even the challenging parts, with love, that will be very healing. The other piece that can be very challenging during Leo season is the ego. The ego does not come from love. The ego does not necessarily act from love. And so we do need to be very aware of that energy, as that can come on very strong during Leo season. So be aware of that. But Leo season can lead to much creativity as we connect to the joy, as we connect to the love energy. Like I said, I believe that love energy is what powers the universe, which means when it is flowing in and through us, we find ourselves being divine creators. And so, again, this is what we are working towards this Leo season. That being said, there are going to be some challenges in and through this as we move through this season. I mentioned it yesterday. We have Mars, Uranus, and the North Node all coming into a conjunction in the sign of Taurus. That's definitely going to be very interesting. Uranus can be very triggery, and Mars can be very reactive from that triggery energy. But all of this is trying to push us towards honoring our values. So do keep that in mind and see how you can align that with love as a value. Speaking of, I got a Mahalo joining me. Ouch. He has sharp claws and needs some cuts. Hey, say hi to everybody. The Leo King himself. I know there's another Leo King, but he was a Leo King before I knew that Leo King. Anyway, let's see. Besides Sun and Leo, which we will dig into more as we move through this Leo season, we have the moon finishing up in Taurus. Like I mentioned, the moon in Taurus will connect to Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto through the day. Oof, even after the sun moves into Leo is when we're going to have the moon connecting with Pluto. And Pluto can always bring that intensity. And remember, the sun moving into Leo is not going to be at a degree. It's going to be at that zero, void, transformational energy. So keep that in mind for the afternoon. Again, even though Leo's coming in, it's still at zero. We're still in the in-between, basically, with this energy. So keep that in mind. And, a lot of people are like, this is supposed to be Leo season. This is supposed to be good. And this doesn't feel good at all. It takes a little time. And it takes personal work of aligning with the beautiful energy of Leo, which is love, which can open up so many beautiful doors for us. Through these connections, the square with Saturn, the trine with Pluto, that's kind of heavy. We even have some lazy cat going on with the moon and Neptune connecting, if you followed me for a long time. So you really may not have high energy today. You may be called more into introspection. Today, getting outside in nature, again, moon in Taurus, that can be very strong, and finding something you love in nature that feels like light to you could be very powerful at this time. I will say that I have not been one with nature very much lately here. It's been over 100 degrees the last few days, and that's not my kind of weather. And yet, when I go outside to water my plants, I am enjoying being out there despite the heat. So find something of joy in nature to connect with. That moon and Pluto connection, empowering your personal worth, but noticing if you are feeling disempowered around worth or money in that connection and where you can take your power back in that. The moon is also going to shift, like I mentioned, into Gemini. So we're going to have some 00 energy there. And the first connection that the sun is going to make in Leo and the moon is going to make is between the sun and the moon. Gemini, moon in Gemini, is such a hype energy, hype energy for Leo. Good or bad, I don't know, right? The good of it is that Gemini can hype our love. Like, we may find ourselves overflowing with love language, but it can also hype the ego. So be aware of what that Gemini moon, what the mental energy is hyping within you. Is this coming from love, or is this coming from ego? And be checking in with yourself quite regularly in and through this energy. Yeah, so let's look at these cards. I didn't actually look at them. Ooh, friendliness. I love this card. Friendliness. This card in traditional tarot can be about like the beginnings of love, puppy love, friendship leading to love. And this card to me is always like the universe is such a friendly place if we can remember that it's a friendly place. So even if you are struggling at all, take time to build on your relationship with the universe, you know, like, hey, how you doing? Kind of feels to it. I am feeling these Leo vibes so strongly. I also have the awareness card, but in reverse. This feels like awareness around the ego energy, like I've been mentioning. In reverse, we may not quite have awareness of the distinction between the love and the ego. So this is something I think to work on. I think this card in reverse is also like today's still one of those slow days. So don't be sad, again, if you're not like rocketing off to the moon because it's Leo season yet, you know, like give it the time it takes. It's coming. Eye of the Tiger. And what is the Eye of the Tiger on in this case? Love. Because the subject tonight is love. And for the rest of our lives, there's nothing better to even think about than love, right? According to Hafiz. That's the meme paraphrasing. I got the creativity card. It is also in reverse. So this can be that mother energy as we're finishing up. We might be like kind of pushing against it, but it's like more than ever you need that strong inner parent to support inner child energy coming in, showing up in that. And this also feels like the word it is, creativity. So much creativity coming in. It's just not here yet. So don't worry. Don't worry. Here it comes. Final card is the Change card in reverse. This is the Wheel of Fortune. And again, it feels like, oh my God, there is some bright and sparkly coming in for us. Don't give up on Leo because you don't feel it the minute the sun moves into Leo. Because I've been that way. Like, I thought Leo was going to be better. This isn't being good yet, right? The impatience in us. I think there's going to be some good times this Leo season. There's also going to be some challenges, but I think there's some good here for us to look forward to. So I'm going to leave that here. Positive message to end with. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values, and especially right now, love. Namaste.